Peggy Mercer YouTube, my writing channel, Writing for Love and Maybe Money. And I have with me a celebrity guest. I have John Richards, jazz legend from Nashville, Tennessee, and he's down here in Georgia. We've been working on songs that we'll be recording around the musician. And since he's already here, and since our heart belongs to this Nancy Guthrie case, and we want to talk to you for just a little bit about the Nancy Guthrie case, about some things we've been hearing about what we know and what we don't know. And John and I both have opinions about this. John, what are your thoughts about where we are? We're 100 and something days into the Nancy Guthrie case. There has been not even a suspect named, although we do feel like the FBI and the Pima County, Arizona Sheriff's Department, we do feel like they do in fact know or have an idea who they think did this. And we're just going to say that we have strong opinions, but we aren't law enforcement. We aren't FBI agent. Although I have worked as a journalist in my lifetime, and I've had a lot of front page stories. I've edited a lot of #1 bestsellers for people. And now John is a quite famous musician in the world of music out of Nashville, Tennessee. And so therefore I'm calling this the celebrity update on Nancy Guthrie, because our heart just belongs to this case. We just love the more we hear about the woman and her life, the more we admire and respect that. Of course, we watch Savannah on TV and we respect her too and really enjoy her program. John, what do you think? Any new ideas out there, or what might you think about this Nancy Guthrie case?
Well, I think they know a lot more than what they're talking about. They're not giving the public the information that they have because it might compromise what they're working on, and they may be trying to get an airtight case against who that person or persons are involved in this, and that may cause, if some information was out about that they were zeroing in, they might take flight, somewhere, or try to. And I don't know if that'll work for them or not, but they probably would try to do something like that or blame somebody else. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
This is something that John and I sat in front of my TV, and now it's 100 and something days, something like 115 days into this case, and into the fact that Nancy Guthrie has been very tragically missing. And we feel like, of course, like millions of you out there, that harm has come to her. And we want to know who did this to her. She is a mother, a grandmother. We respect and admire her life, that she lives so much, and she deserves for all of you celebrities and semi-celebrities and rising star wannabes, and we're senior citizens. We've lived a wonderful life writing books and playing music. He's played with everybody that's picked up a microphone, I think, in his lifetime. And we feel like, not being FBI agents or anything like that, we do have strong opinions. And the more that we people who have followers talk about Nancy Guthrie and talk about her life and the case and the fact that she's missing, and the fact that they don't know who did it, or if they know, they're not telling. And so I'll see you in a minute, John. There goes John. And so what we do know here, and hello everybody that's joining me. I just love you people so much. What we do know is, we know that Nancy went missing on February the 1st. You know that there's noise going on about this case. We know that everybody says the sheriff out there and they call him kind of a clown and Barney Fife. We don't know about that, but we do know that it does seem like there was no really big comprehensive and thorough searches that went on for her. And of course, the first thing we know that they said was that she had been kidnapped for ransom, and that came from a comment that was made by her son, the pilot, Cameron. That was his comment to Savannah. Now the noise has it that Annie made a call to somebody. We would really like to know who she made that phone call, if any of you know any more about that. And that just may be noise, and that there may not be anything to that. So there is a lot of noise. We even saw a show that said they had found Nancy's human bones buried in Annie's garden. We don't know anything about all that, but I will tell you that people say, oh, that's just smoke. That's just smoke and it's just noise. But I will tell you that I have lived long enough in my fine lifetime to know that where there's smoke, there's fire, and there is some fire going on, and we think that that her remains are going to be found, and we think that she is going to get a great home going that she deserves and can rest in peace. And what we do know is we do know that they found a hair or some hairs, and not telling you, but we do know the conclusion I had, as you all remember, was that she had decided she had had enough of the drama, enough probably arguing with the son-in-law and the daughter about the will maybe, and getting ahead in life and so on and so forth. And we did say that we believe the FBI statistics on these types of missing people, that this probably, I've said from the very beginning, it goes to the family, it goes to somebody very close to her that she knew. It's possible that they were in there with her all night long because they said the place was spotless. I don't see spotless very much in the life of anyone. John, can you let this cat out? I'm sorry, people. I've got a lot of cats in my house, as you know, and we are working with them. And I'm going to tell you a little story about some of my cats and let you people start weighing in if you can. Can you let that cat out? I think that cat wanted to go out the door, and I'm sorry. We have a lot going on. I found some cats in a block living outside and some babies, and don't let Frizzy go out. Hand Frizzy to me for just a minute. I'll introduce Frizzy to the internet. Now, this is my beautiful Frizzy, and I want to show everybody Frizzy. This is beautiful Frizzy. Hello, beautiful Frizzy. What's your opinion on this case we're working on? And I have lots of beautiful cats, and this is my girl Frizzy. This is my baby Frizzy, and I have a one. I have lots of kittens around here. Trying our best to work with and save. The ones that I found in the block were covered in fleas, and we've tried to feed them goat milk and do everything that we can do that's possible to save them. And some we've saved, some we've lost, and I've had to cry my eyes out over it. So all that's going on, and that's one reason I haven't been back on here. But I love you people. Thank you for joining me so much. But we did want to talk a little bit about Nancy Guthrie, because everybody that's got a podcast or YouTube, my YouTube channel was created and is created and still operating primarily as a writing YouTube to help aspiring writers get their books published and tell them where to go and what to do. And I do editing. I do have a poetry book that's coming out very shortly, and I think you're just going to totally love the new poetry book. I am known as a best-selling American poet, and I don't. I will tell you that comes from having a book, by Edgar Allan Poe's book on Amazon, or being supported, and people telling me all over the world that they enjoy my poetry and my novels and my other books on how to help people. And so we've got all that going on, and we going on to inspire people to that subjects and keep things in front of the public. So forget what happened to her. She was taken out of her house on right after midnight, sort of in there by about 2 o'clock. She was taken out of her house against her wishes, and we feel that something terrible happened to her before she ever left the house. Now there are people that say they saw her in Mexico, or they believe she was close by being held hostage by a couple of thugs. All kind of ideas have been floating around, but the reality is that when something like this happens, it's no good. And the fact that it's no good, and the fact that she probably met a terrible tragedy, all of that's just the reality of life. These things happen, frankly, to my way of thinking, they just don't happen that often to elderly people, and that's why you elderly people have to be really careful. We've had incidents in our own life where people try to scam us, but they can't get by with that because we're wise to it. Now, about Nancy Guthrie, there is all the noise. We don't know anything about the noise. We don't know. We don't have any clues. We're not law enforcement or FBI agents, but me having worked and investigating and journalism earlier in my lifetime, and I did a lot of stories. I'm pretty good at digging up facts. We have especially enjoyed watching the young silver-haired guy. Brian Anton is his name, and he seems to have a YouTube channel geared toward talking about crime and digging up facts, and he's doing an excellent job. There's a lot of stuff that I said had not been addressed. I go back to wanting to know what happened to the dog, and I want to know who that dog liked and who that dog didn't like. Was the dog old and put to sleep? Was the dog? And so let's find out who he liked and who he didn't like, and what happened to him, because you know what? It happened to him before all this came about. This was a planned, targeted harming, I'm going to say, of the beautiful Nancy Guthrie. This was a planned murder. This was a plan, and they'll come out, whoever did this, to come out and say, oh, it was an accident. We had no idea she was that sick. Of course they had an idea she was that sick. This thing had been planned for quite some time, and we believe that it was a crime out of anger and revenge for some reason. Very close people involved. The FBI lab did finally get some of the DNA. They are coming to some conclusions about that. There will be a suspect named very shortly. I keep saying, Lord, I hope he gets named today, because we're all wanting to see some conclusion to this, so that the lovely family can get some rest and know that their mother is at rest. This has been a horrible case. Despite all the noise, everything that is known about this case, which is a lot more than any of us know, everything that's known is known by some of the best FBI agents and best officers from the Arizona Sheriff's Department that have worked in this field, and they know what they're looking at. They know what they're looking for. They've tested the car. They've gone through the house and picked up clues. Don't think they haven't. So they know a lot more than they're telling us for reasons of building a case. And they're going to tell us soon what happened was a total hoax, just like I said in the beginning. people involved, it's going to say, oh my goodness, no. Oh my goodness, it's going to be yes, because that's just the way these things happen, and it's all sad, it's all tragic, but we want conclusion for this family on this. And so if you have a podcast, or if you can keep talking about it, please do. We're not going to let her be forgotten. We are going to stick with her until she's found and resting in peace. Now, I'm Peggy Mercer. This is my YouTube channel. I do have a book of poetry coming out soon. It could be as early as next week when some people that are working on it get through with it. And I will share that with you. I did promise you a new poetry video, and I'll try to get that on tomorrow. If you happen to want some good, lively, hungry kittens that are about to eat me out of house and home, please let me know. And I really hope and pray that I haven't sounded like cornbread today, because the truth of the matter is I'm talking about Nancy Guthrie. John and I are both considered by some people a little bit of celebrities, and so the celebrities are talking about this case because we all have a mama, and we all think about the fact that if we had a mama that had raised us after our daddy died. I think they said Savannah was 16, so the kids were grown. But hey, I people have been looking at videos and looking at my books. I appreciate it so much. Cancer, and I'm going to actually do a video on that book, What God Told Me, and I'm going to share with you what I went through with breast cancer and how God healed me. And if you are a person who has been through that, if you're a person who is going through that, let me know. I'm going to be praying for you, and I will tell you that God will touch you and heal you of any kind of anything that you've got. You hang on to what God tells you, just like I hung on to what God told me. We're going to hang on to them getting some conclusion about the lovely Nancy Guthrie, and I can't wait to see what an inspiration her case is going to be forever to this world. And I can't wait to see how Savannah's going to handle this to keep her life and legend in front of people, especially young people coming along. And I know that that's going to work out and inspire people all over the world. I'm going to be back on here shortly. I see a good many comments coming through here. I couldn't do this without you people. I'm one of I can't get on here and say I have 1 million followers. I do have 15 or 20,000 probably on some of the other social media sites. And to me, that's huge, okay? Because I'm not on here to get people advertising or YouTuber. I am truly on here to help you with your writing, help you with your prayer. And I'm going to launch a prayer video also, because I just feel led to do that. And talk to you about some of the things that we older senior citizens are going to have to, are having to face, that are going to have to face, and help you get through some of the stuff that we're all facing as we get into age. I love this opportunity for us to share the good things about some of the bad things that have happened to us, that I just feel like God wants all of us to join together, keep Nancy Guthrie's name, keep her case out and alive there in Arizona. Stay safe, my friends. I will be back with the poetry video probably tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me today. Write me messages and notes, and I love you all. I truly do. It's still going, and I don't know how to turn it off. You know, I don't know how to turn this thing off. Would somebody tell me? I have not had a haircut. There are several things that I will not do. I will not cut my hair. I will not go gray, and I will not drive a Ford car. Good night.